Hello guys, welcome back to Money Sense with Miss T. My name is Tendo and I am your financial coach. And on today's episode, we will be doing our money plan, aka our budget. Very, very excited about this chapter. And I think at this point, guys, you need to have at least watched my current location. So where am I with my money currently, right? I also did an episode on setting your goals. So I also want you to dream. I also want you to have an expectation, right, to achieve and smash some of your biggest, money goals that you have for the year or for the next 3 or even 5 years, right? And today, what we're going to do is I'm going to then help you with a tool that will help you basically actualize, this dream or this desire that you have in terms of winning with your money. So I'm going to do a tutorial with you guys that will just raise your level of awareness to see how to go about actually mapping out your income and mapping out your expenses in a way that will enable you to win with your money and enable you to start working, on the muscle of managing your money, the muscle of saving money, the muscle of investing money, which is a very important part of, the journey of actually smashing our money goals. All right, let's get right into it. I'm going to start off with the template. So this is how the template looks like. And guys, don't worry, I will link the link in the description box so that you can access the budgeting template. It's absolutely free, so that it's actually going to be great for you if you can actually open it, pause this video, open the template and work it with me as I go through the tutorial, so that you know exactly what you need to do when the opportunity arises for you to map out your personal finances. Okay, so right at the top, we've got the month that we are budgeting for. So remember, we always budget or we always forecast for the month that is coming, right? So we are now sitting in the month of Feb, just as an example. So the month that we are going to plan for, the month that we are going to budget for, is the month of March. So you can just come here to the drop down arrow and select the month that you are budgeting for. Then here it's got some instructions. It tells you that the green parts, it's information to be typed in. So this is where you come in and type in what you are expecting to receive for the income category. And then at the end of the month, when you actually receive these line items, then you need to then obviously slot in the numbers here. And then it tells you that information calculated is in gray, so you don't have to do anything here. Excel is an amazing calculator. It will calculate everything for you. So I've linked all the formulas, so you don't have to be doing any of the calculations at all, right? But also what you can do, what I also did on this template, is I also left out a few line items so that you can add whatever it is that you may want to work on where income is concerned, or whatever it is that has not obviously been highlighted or itemized under these income categories that I have here. So let's start off with our income category, right? So again, here we are putting in the income that we are actually earning, right? But I also want you to use this as your vision board, as your money vision board. I want you to also put in, the income that you want to start earning, right? The income that you desire, the income that you expect to earn at some point. I want you to put it here, because what's going to happen is, because budgeting is a monthly activity, right? It's not something that you do one day and then you forget about it. It's something that you're going to have to do habitually every single month, because you do this activity every single month. Every time you look at, I'll make an example with myself, right? I want to sit on a board and I want to start earning board membership fees, right? Every time I look at my budget and I look at this line item, just as an example, I'm always asking myself, Tendo, what are you doing to move in the direction of being an earning board member, just as an example, right? So put in, the income that you are earning in actual fact and the income that you want to earn. All right, and then again you put in what you are expecting to receive for that month, and that is something that only you would know, right? And then at the end here, it will give you the total. Then we can move on now to our savings and our investments category. And again here I've got a few line items around giving, emergency fund, very important. I'm actually thinking of doing a separate video on just how to work around, or calculate, the emergency fund that will speak to your finances, that will speak to your needs, and that will speak to your financial landscape, right? Then I've got our December here, just as an example, just as the example that we used in our previous videos around, setting the goal to raise 6,000 for our December spend. So I've got the 500 itemized here. Okay, and then tax-free investment accounts, guys, take advantage of these. In South Africa, this is called your TFSA. In the UK, these are your ISAs, right? And also, if you've got children, take advantage of that. Open those tax-free savings account for them. Open the junior ISAs if you're in the UK for your children, right? And if you are obviously employed, you also want to start thinking about how you are, contributing towards your retirement. And I know that this all already forms part of your salary. So it's already been taken out. By the time you get your salary, the retirement amount has already been taken into account. But sometimes you want to top that up. And also, if you are not employed, if you're not formally employed, you may need to also then think about how you are contributing or how you are building that investment pot for yourself, right? And you do that by using a retirement annuity investment vehicle, right? So very important for you to map this out, to obviously mirror what your savings and your investment landscape looks like. Okay, then we move on to our debt category, and here again we are writing down all of our creditors. I've tried to be as exhaustive as possible, but yeah, just obviously personalize it to your own personal finances. Put in what where you are, where debt is concerned. Put in the creditors, and then also then put in if you are paying the minimum requirements, for instance, or the minimum installments, then put it in here that this is the amount that you are expecting to pay. But if you are wanting to smash your debt in the quickest possible time, and really this is a compelling vision, this is something that you really want to work on this year, then you may want to actually tap into an area where you are contributing more than just the minimum installment, so that you can fast track getting out of debt in the quickest possible time. And then we've got category living expenses, and here these are the normal, accommodation, groceries, nursery fees. I'll be paying nursery fees very soon. So, yeah, very, 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 very big line item in our budget coming up. And then we also have, again, very intentional family responsibilities, right? Also known as black tax. So again, you want to put it in as a line item, guys, so that you are able to define, the capacity that you have to be a blessing to your family members, the capacity that you have to contribute to your family members, whether it's your parents or your extended family or even your siblings, right? So those are the living expenses. And then insurance, again, here you want to check that you've got all the comprehensive insurance plans in place. And why we want to make sure that we have insurance in place is so that, guys, when the insured event happens, we have actually, managed our risks in such a way that we have contributed, the small amounts, a small 1,000 here, a small 200 rand there can actually help us when, we lose, let's say, members of our families, or we pass away and we actually had debt as well as dependents. So just check this out. But I also know that when you are employed, right, as part of your employee benefits, just as an example, you would have life insurance as well as funeral cover as part of that. So that would be included in your cost to company, right? But if you are not, then it's also important for you to be looking into having these types of covers to protect yourself. All right. Or to manage your financial risks. And then subscriptions. And I want to pause here, guys. This is where you can really get to a place where you can see how you are paying for things that you actually have no business paying for. You are paying for things that you are actually not using. And I'll make an example with gym membership, right? And this was a few, when I was still living in South Africa, I had a gym membership with Virgin Active. And I remember using that gym for probably 2 months, and in those 2 months I probably went like 3 times or something ridiculous like that, but I kept paying the monthly fee for the entire year, right, until I was sober enough to come face to face with the fact that actually, no, I don't want to continue donating 500 rand, or I don't want to continue donating 1,000 rand to this organization when it's actually not working for me. So this is an opportunity for you to look at your bank statement, to look at all your subscriptions and ask yourself, am I actually using these subscriptions? Are they actually serving me? All right. So very important to do that exercise here. And where you are not using these services, guys, what's the word? Unsubscribe, right? I know also a lot of us actually, I actually get trapped a lot with this, and I did it. I remember I did it with LinkedIn Pro, right? You know how they lure you in by saying, there's a free monthly trial or 7-day monthly trial. This is, and which you can, as soon as the 7 days come or lapses, then you can cancel, right? And then 7 days come and you actually forget, right? And you end up just, on a recurring basis, just start, contributing to this membership or to this subscription without even realizing that you are contributing towards it. So very, very important, guys, to make sure that you are actually paying for subscriptions that you are using. All right. And then the last one is entertainment and personal. And I want to pause here and say, this is where a lot of people feel like, budgeting is boring. Budgeting is it's a very limiting exercise. Budgeting won't allow you to live your best life now. It won't allow you to, it won't allow you to basically live out your soft life agenda. And the answer is no. You can live your best life with having a budget, because a budget is basically a tool that's telling your money where it needs to go on a monthly basis. And if you wanted to go to the soft life agenda, you should schedule it. You should put it as a line item. Let's actually put it in soft life, my soft life agenda, right? So you put in all the things that are entertainment or personal related, you slot in the numbers, and then at the end of the day, it will sum up how much your spend is, right? And this is how you know that your budget actually budgets and it's actually working, right? So as you can see, your total expected expenses is sitting at 20, right? And if we look at our income, it's sitting at 20. So total income less all of that spend is giving us 20, right? And the answer is giving us a 0. So this is a 0 rated budget. So it means we have taken everything that we earn and we have allocated it. We have given it a name. We have allocated every rand, every cent, every pound, every pence, every dollar to a line item that we know and that we are hopefully going to track, manage, and get in control of. And guys, this is how we win with our finances. Comes up whenever I'm doing either hosting a webinar or on one-on-one coaching sessions, that how do I know how much should go towards savings, just as an example, or towards my debts or my living expenses and stuff, right? And there is a framework called the 50-30-20 rule that basically, it's a suggestion, guys. It's recommendation. It's not law. It's just something that, it's a framework that you can use to just set rules where your finances are concerned. It actually helps you keep in check even as your income increases, right? You make sure that your spend as well as your savings is moving in the right directions within the confines of the 50-30-20 rule, right? So it basically says 50% of your income should go towards, let's actually go here, 50% of your income should go towards your fundamentals, right? So these are your needs, the things that you need to survive. So this is debt, first and foremost, because minimum payments need to be paid. If they are not paid, it's going to affect your credit score. And when your credit score is adversely affected, you need to work on it, because again, you're not going to be able to access, the financing that you want to buy the big ticket items, right? So other fundamentals are your living expenses. We all need a roof over our heads. We need food to eat, transport to move us from point A to point B, and we also need insurance, right? So those are fundamentals. So those are my needs. So 50% of my income should go towards my fundamentals. 30% will go towards fun, right? Should go towards my wants. So this is entertainment and personal, as well as subscriptions. And then 20% of our income would go towards our future, which is our savings and our investments, right? And guys, these are not rules. These are just recommendations, right? At some point in our lives, I have used the 50-30 rule, and as goals and the vision sort of changes and looks slightly different, then we had to change strategy. And the change of strategy just meant that we are actually shrinking the fun category so that we can increase our savings and our investment pot, so that we can achieve the goal of, let's say, for instance, buying a house. So again, these are just guidelines that you can use, and according to the budget that we have done, we can see that this person's income, so 85% of this person's income goes towards their fundamentals, 13% towards the fun, and 3% towards their future, which is still very much disastrous, right? If the primary goal for them is to put aside 20%, for instance, for their future, right? And what I've done on the budget is I've actually helped you to see where I'm pulling the numbers from. So the future category is the savings and the investment part, and then our fundamentals, that's debt, living expenses, and insurance. And then the fun category is our subscriptions and our entertainment. And guys, if this is your kind of content, please do not forget to subscribe. Let someone know in your circle whom you know this will actually help. And please let me know in the comment section once you have downloaded the budgeting template, and tell me what you plan on doing with this budgeting template. And I'm really hoping that it will help you manage your money, make money, and multiply your money. I'll see you next time.